Alright guys, welcome back to another MCreator tutorial. So today what we're going to be looking at is localization, what this basically means for your Minecraft mods, and how this can actually benefit a lot more audience than what you can imagine. So let's get started. There's two things that we actually need to look at, and that is the procedure block, but we also need something to translate. So when you're working with elements and stuff like that, like blocks, items, GUIs, anything pretty much with text, those will all need to, well, they should have most of the support for actually translation. So that will show up under the Localization tab, and then you'll have by default the EN/US, which is the default standard fallback language that every language will have if you don't specify a new language. So basically it will always have EN/US. So this will be your base language that you're working with. Now, when you add an element such as an item, this will pop up a new resource key, which will be basically linked to the value that you have. You can also add custom ones by clicking on the add localization entry, and you can actually add your own custom keys here. This is good for things that might not automatically translate, like tooltips or anything like that that might need still translation. So we'll be creating a custom one here, but I do want to demonstrate what the vanilla ones would kind of look like. So I'll just pop in after I create an item or block or something like that. All right, so I've created a simple block called example. And if we go under localization, we can see that there is a new key here. There is one called item.latest. That is our namespace. So everything needs to be kind of labeled in their own namespace. And then we have .example, which is the name of what we're basically printing out. This is the value of the name of that block. So for example, if we go in here and then go under the properties, we can see this is the title for the block itself. This was actually what's going to be translated for people. Now, this does not translate the special information, which is your tooltips. You'll have to add that manually through custom keys. We'll cover that right now. So if you wanted to add a custom key, you would just basically go ahead and click on the add localization entry, and then you can give it something like tooltip and dot, and then your namespace. So latest, in this case for my namespace, and then you could give it whatever your text is actually displaying. So we could go this, it should all be lowercase too, right? So this is some fun text, or this is fun text. We'll keep it short. So we'll save that, and then by default this will be an empty box. We can add our translation here. So we'll go ahead and go, this is some, or this is fun text, and then we can basically add that there. Now this is only for the EN/US, which is the default one. Now if we wanted to add another language, what we could do is we could go ahead and go into the button here where it has the plus icon next to the EN/US, and then we can scroll down and add any one of these languages that we want to add translation to. I'm just going to go with the French, which is FR. And you can look up the language codes if you're not familiar with it. Just Google it, and it will give you a language code here, which is the standardized versions, I believe. So we're looking for FR, which is this one right here. So it's going to ask you basically what you want to inherit it from. So in this case, we're just going to inherit it from the EN/US because it's the only one that we have. And that will create a copy of the EN/US to our version here. Now, the thing with localization is it's not automatically translated. So if you want to add localization support, you either need to know the language or have somebody translate it for you. Or the other option that I have found really reliable, I've talked to a couple people, one person that was Russian and one person that was German, and both say that ChatGPT as a language model does actually really good for the translation. So I have seen it pretty consistent across the localization and stuff. So I feel confident enough that it's good enough to translate. I haven't had any complaints from people using my mods and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure that you'll probably be able to get away with that. As for basically translating, you can just open up something like GPT and tell it to basically translate the languages that you want. Have mine kind of have its own rules to basically translate back the words, though that doesn't work too well, but it does give me an idea of what I'm looking at. And I just tell it to translate between all of the languages that I want to add support for. So in this case, what I usually translate is Arabic, which is the ARSA, which is the media version, I believe. And then we have Dutch, French, German, and Portuguese and Spanish. Those are the ones that I usually translate to. So let's go ahead and quickly translate this, and then we'll pop into game or pop into a procedure, and we'll take a look at how we can actually test for these values. All right, so I've translated the French version for this is fun text. So I have left the block one basically the same as English, just to kind of demonstrate what it will look like when you're actually working with a localization. Now, we should probably cover quickly where you can find these. If you go to your workspace and then open workspace folder, and then go under source, and then main, and then resources, and then assets, and then latest, or your namespace for your mod, there will be one called lang, which is short for language, and then we can open up that, and then this is basically where your language files are going to be located. Now, you might notice that it doesn't actually have the French version. We can try regenerating the code. It should pop up here now that we have that all generated. So this is basically what it's going to look like inside this file. It's going to have basically our key for what the language is, and then it's going to allow us to have the value on the other side here. We can look at the English version as well. And you can see that the key and the localization is actually not the key. The key is the same between both files, where the localization is a little bit different. So the value is different. So this is English, and we can see in French, this is our French version for that word. So if you need to edit it or have somebody translate it, that's probably the easiest way, and then just drop it back into this folder once it's been translated. You can also use MCreator's tool. I think you can import through here through CV or CSV files and stuff like that, but I've not always had an easy time actually having people translate that, because it requires like special documents, like, I don't know, like Word or other things like that can actually translate back to. But as far as that's considered, you can get the document and people can easily translate there. All right, so let's go ahead and go into the procedure here. That's the block. Let's go into the procedure, and we'll go ahead and find the block that we can actually get the value from now. All right, so let's go ahead and get the block. We need to go to text and then scroll all the way down to the bottom here. It says get localized text for key, and then we have the key for translate key.name or translate.key.name. So this is a client-side block, which will only display on client-side, which makes sense because localization is mainly meant for the player playing the game, not so much for every player in the game itself. So you wouldn't want somebody that speaks Spanish being able to see a different language that somebody else has set. So this is why it's on client side. Now, what you would do for this key part right here is just grab the localization for that key. So we're going to grab the one that we created custom, which is the tooltip one. And we're going to place that in here. Now, as soon as you place the key itself, because it's across every language the same thing, this will get the key itself. And we can just basically print this out when we right click on a block to basically print this out to the player. So this is on server side, but that's fine. It will work with the localization. And that's all we need to basically do. Anytime we need to add localization or get the value of that text, now this will get the exact value of the text. For example, if it's in French, it's going to display the French text itself. the French value of it. If it's in English or any other language that isn't supported, it will be in the English version. So this isn't actually going to be printing out the key itself, it's going to be printing out the key's value based on the configuration for that player's language. So hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. We'll pop in game and I'll show you anyways how that basically works. So let's go ahead and save this and we'll pop in game now. All right, so by default we have English enabled. So this is the ENUS version. As you can see, every basic thing is normal to what I usually record on. And we can scroll down. I don't think I actually added the block to a particular tab, so we're going to have to spawn that in. Here we go. We have the latest example. You can see the example name on the type here. This one we didn't actually translate into French. This is just the basic one, so we'll be using this. And if we right click on the block, we can get the other localization that we basically added. This is the one that we did translate to. So this one just says, this is some fun text, and that should show up in our tab here. All right, so let's go ahead and change the localization or our language for the game. We go into options, language, and then we need to find the exact translation that we added. So in this case, we want French and then France because it's the FR_FR. That's the translation for France. So we're going to set this as done and just hope that I can get back to the English version. I'm assuming that's okay. And back to game maybe? Yeah, all right. So as you can see, we have the same value, for example, here because we didn't translate that version. But if we go ahead and click on the block, you can see that it translated into French. Now, the other version here is still English. This doesn't update anything previous when we're printing out in chat, but it does do translation for anything that is related for that current part after they change it. So basically, now that we've changed the language, everything else in here is also French. So we can see that all the blocks and things like that are actually translated into French. So when we right click, you would add support for the localization key, and that would basically allow you to translate it into that particular language. What does this actually mean for your mods? This means that if you do add translation support, it will give a broader audience more capability of actually playing your mods and basically potentially more downloads because people will be able to understand what the mods themselves are, like the elements and stuff are actually called. It's just more of an ease of access kind of thing for players that can actually, easily do it without needing to understand English and try to figure out what everything does. So there is a benefit of actually localizing your mods and stuff like that. And like I said, GPT is pretty good at translating it. It is a language model. It's originally designed for things like this. So it wasn't ever really designed specifically for image generation or anything like that. It was more designed for text-based chats and stuff like that. So things like translation, descriptions, improving grammar, things like that I use on a daily basis for my tutorials and stuff like that because I really just suck at all of that. So it helps a lot with the process of actually pushing out content for the actual text version and all the itty-gritty kind of things that I'm not great at. As far as image generation, I don't support that kind of stuff for my content, obviously, but it does help when you're needing to translate into different languages so you can get more reach for people understanding your content. So anyhow, same thing goes with mods. It does help when the mod actually is translated into another language. So hopefully this helps, and I will see you guys in the next video. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace out.